New World is getting paid XP boosts, and there are some possible pay to win concerns now. Let's talk about that. So there's some information that I didn't realize we had when they announced the expansion in the dev update. We basically have what they're going to talk about here with the Seasons Pass, and we have the fact that the PTR is actually going live tomorrow. So just to confirm, the Season Pass and the Fellowship of Fire is going live tomorrow on the PTR. You can see it here, it's going live 23rd at 10 AM. 5 PM UTC, and you can see what we're going to get, the combat updates and stuff like that. I will come back to this, but I just want to talk about the Season Pass first, because I think this is what most people will have concerns about. So as we said previously, there's going to be 2 tracks basically with the Season Pass. There's a free track, which is just going to look like this. So here they're sort of highlighting the free track, but you can see there's actually 2 tiers, right? The top one is the free one, and the bottom one is the premium one. I'm not 100% sure why here the free one has been unlocked, but the bottom one hasn't. Yeah, I don't actually know what that is. Now, these little gold icons here, they appear to be XP boosts basically, but for gathering and crafting and stuff like that. These are obviously just going to be loot. These are also going to be loot. Here you have a cosmetic, which I think is likely an emote, right? And I think over here to the right, these are also skins basically. They're not actually the raw gear. This one might be the raw gear, but I'm not 100% sure. There's some gypsum, all kinds of interesting stuff. In this image, they are highlighting the premium track, and you can basically see it's a lot of chests. These are going to be random gear, I think, right? And they mentioned in the dev update that you might have better RNG. So that's going to be very interesting. It's only available once you are level 25. You can get Marks of Fortunes, boost tokens, which we're going to come on to, and seasonal loot. You get the XP by doing a variety of different, an activity card, which we'll talk about, but you can get it through doing quests, faction missions, town projects, expedition bosses, outpost rush, 3v3 arenas, and more. So this is your season journey. Here you're going to have like a variety of different things you do step by step, and you're going to get more and more XP, right? Pretty interesting. I actually enjoyed this system as an idea, and I have no qualms with it whatsoever. I think a season pass sounds pretty cool. Having season sounds very interesting. There are going to be some activities that are specific to that season, and there is also this stamp card where basically doing whatever it says on there, you'll get a bit of XP on the activity tracker, right? And apparently you are going to actually be able to re-roll them if you don't like whichever ones they give you in the first place. Okay, pretty cool system. There's a new little story called the Silver Crows. You're going to confront a powerful warlock and Varangian horde. Alright, that sounds interesting. It sounds sort of more like a side story rather than the main story, but maybe I'm misunderstanding that. Obviously the new expedition is coming as well. Oh, it's in Greatcleave. I don't know if we'd actually had that detail revealed, but now we know it's in Greatcleave. There's going to be a new heart rune as well called the Firestorm. Gear set storage is a big one that I probably should have said up front. It's going to be very interesting because you're actually going to be able to buy more slots using real money. Now, for a lot of people, that will be very annoying. So you'll now be able to save and switch between your favorite sets of gear after reaching level 25. Additional slots can be earned through the season pass or purchased with the Marks of Fortune. Basically, you can buy more for real cash. That's not pay to win, that's pay for convenience. Either way, a lot of people are not going to be happy at seeing that. Weaver's Fen and Brightwood's getting reworked. They're not showing any screenshots now. Rabbit's Revenge is coming back. That's pretty interesting. Springtime Bloom looks very, very colourful, and I have to say I do like it. The Fury of the Spriggan is the one that I couldn't remember the name of earlier, and it's pretty interesting. But let's get to the FAQ. So these seasons are going to be on a predictable 3-month cadence, so you know when we're going to get the next patch. There's no question about it. Each time there's going to be a new season pass, and there are going to be time limited premium reward tracks like cosmetics. Now at some point they say that if you don't get all the cosmetics, it goes into like a vault. I'm guessing at some point you'll be able to unlock that vault, right? I just don't know what the system is for that. The premium reward track is going to be available for 20,000 Marks of Fortune. I think they said that's like 20 quid, $20, something like that, and it features 100 tracks. Okay, on to the big question. Isn't this a form of pay to win? All the non-cosmetic premium track rewards can also be earned through the free track and normal gameplay. That's a little bit vague, right? Because if you're going to give people random gear rolls, then you could argue the case there that you can get it through normal gameplay if you go and do an outpost rush or something. So whilst that might technically be true, giving people randomized gear, I would argue, is probably pay to win, right? And that is what it looks like in those chests, but maybe I'm misunderstanding it. The premium reward track adds 100 levels of additional rewards, giving players the opportunity to get more in-game items. So you can get randomized gear on the free track, you're just going to get more in the randomized one. Okay, but that's still pay to win in theory, in my opinion. And then they go on to say the gear rolled from these rewards will not exceed gear score 600, so it is definitely gear, right? And does not include any unique perks that cannot be found in game. So the argument here is you can earn this normally. However, I don't really think that holds much water in my opinion. Just because the gear is randomized and you can get randomized gear elsewhere doesn't make it any less pay to win in my eyes. Granted, it's a limited pay to win, as in you buy the premium reward track and it stops there. But, you know, it's effectively a pay-to-win battle pass. If you have it, you're going to be more powerful than if you don't. Or you could potentially be more powerful than if you don't. It's RNG, so you actually can't guarantee it, which I'm not sure if that's better or worse. But in my opinion, it is pay to win. It's just the battle pass and it's capped pay to win. We'll probably have more discussions about this when we actually see it. The cosmetics don't provide any benefit. Okay. And then a little sneaky, what are boost tokens? So boost tokens are time-based catch-up mechanics that provide temporary quality of life conveniences that do not affect stats or provide any advantage in combat. They are designed to help players that want to more quickly level up weapon mastery, trade skills, or season progression, and territory standing. So basically, you're going to be able to pay and get these quicker, which for trade skills, does that include aptitude? We don't know. For the season progression, yeah, you could argue that's not really that bad, it's just speeding it up. But I mean, you could argue there's a bit of a dodgy element there. And territory standing, well, if you can increase your territory standing, you can also increase your season progression. Now, the one thing they don't talk about there is level XP. I'm a little bit confused why they don't at this point do level XP. Level XP is the one I sort of would have preferred, right? Let the people who are playing catch up. There are still people like myself, I don't have all my weapon masteries. I'm probably going to buy them, right? Certainly questionable, shall we say. If the trade skills allowed you to do it for aptitude, then that could be a real problem for a lot of people. Tokens are available to be earned in-game though, through the free and the premium track of the season pass, as well as for purchase through the in-game store, so you can just buy these when you want. You're not limited, it's not just the reward track and that's it, you can just buy them. So if you really want to just be the highest territory standing, well, no, it's not really going to be that impressive because you can just buy something that will give it you quicker. It's a bit annoying. But then even worse, right, so here it sounds like it's going to be all XP. Here we actually move on to yield. Now, I don't know if they've got this confused, but this one is very worrying in my opinion. For example, the proficiency boost token that increases gathering yield by 10% for 90 minutes provides a longer but lower percent increase than the powerful proficiency booster that can be crafted in game. So you can buy one that is going to give you 10% for 90 minutes. Sure, it's a lower percentage than the one you can buy in game, but you can buy this with real money. You can now officially buy gold effectively. You can buy yield. This sounds more and more pay to win the more that I think about it and the more that I see it. Honestly, I think we've crossed the line. I think we've moved into soft pay to win. It's here and it's going to stay. My concern isn't necessarily with the paid premium track. I sort of can get over that. I'm a little bit concerned that they're going to include effectively gear, randomized gear. It's basically loot boxes, literally loot boxes, right? You pay for the premium track, you get more loot boxes. That, to my money, is sounding like pay to win. And then these boost tokens, I actually was like, I would have been okay with these. The ones where it's like XP, I'd have been like, that's fine. But when they start talking about yield, then I start having a bit more of a problem. Now you have it so that you can pay to get yield. Yes, it's not the best way of doing it. It might not even be the most cost effective. But if you're buying something on the store, the cash store, that you would have otherwise have paid for in-game using actual gold, then you're saving that gold. And then not only that, you're actually going to go out and find materials that are then going to give you more materials than you would have otherwise got. Like, I don't know, that one, I have a bigger problem with that, I think, almost than the randomized gear for some reason. It just doesn't sit right with me. So this is an interesting day for New World. We've got an expansion announcement, we've got season pass announcements, we have the PTR going live tomorrow, but it does sound like we might be going over the pay to win line. I used to be able to say that New World had the best sales model of any MMO out on the market. I'm not sure I can any longer say that. Granted, I don't really know too many business models about the other games, but we are moving into a little bit of pay to win. And if you disagree with that, then just know I disagree with you. Do I think it's the end of the game or what have you? No, not necessarily. I just think it's a bad thing to happen. It's sort of understandable in a way. And I will probably keep playing New World. I'm not going to stop because of it. But, I mean, to me, that's pay to win. I did say I would talk a little bit about the PTR. Just know that there's not too much here. The Bane's going to be increased by 10% on range weapons. You're going to be able to do a bit more tanking with different weapons because the taunt gem's being increased in capacity. Muskets getting nerfed. Some crowd control abilities are also being changed. The equipable balances are coming. We need to see that in the game, and I'll be checking it out in game, so make sure you subscribe and I'll tell you what it is when we see it. So an interesting day for New World. I personally think possibly a dark day for New World because we've had the pretty much underwhelming event. Then we've had this pay to win element of the season pass. However, we did get an expansion announced, and a lot of people are happy about that and being like, big W. But then it's like, well, this season pass is not really a big W. Pretty much a big L in my opinion. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm sure I probably can't stop you. Have a most beautiful day though. Like and subscribe. Goodbye.